The French Quarter burned with noise and color on the final night of Fat Tuesday. Floats rolled through Canal Street, brass bands blared, and massed crowds shouted for beads under the glare of torchlight. Julien Dubois pushed through the press of bodies with his scar aching and Madame Zora's talisman heavy at his throat. He had already rescued Celeste from Magnolia's end, and Zora's warning about the Order of the Crescent Moon had given him a clearer fear. Then a sharp whistle cut through the parade. Officer Malone found him near a barricade, pale even in the heat of the crowd. Another body lay in the shadow of a float, half covered in spilled beads. The dead man was Maurice Blanchard, a wealthy shipping magnate whose fleet competed with Vincent Devereaux's. A red and gold papier-mâché mask had been strapped over his face, the crescent moon mark etched on the forehead. One precise stab wound pierced his chest. It was the same method as the 7 murders before it. Julien knelt beside the body and touched the mask. The cruelty was deliberate, a signature meant to be seen. 8th victim, he said quietly. Another member of the order. The crowd began to sense the truth. Cheers turned to screams. Revelers stumbled backward, clutching their own masks as if disguise could protect them from what had happened in plain sight. Malone stared at the chaos and muttered that the killer should not have been able to move through such a crowd. Julien answered that the parades were the perfect cover. Noise, costume, motion, all of it hid the knife. But the pace had changed. 8 were dead. Only 2 more remained before the ritual was complete. A loudspeaker crackled overhead. Chief Inspector Grayson ordered an immediate curfew and demanded the streets be cleared. He stood above the uproar with a stiff face and averted eyes, more concerned with control than with truth. Julien knew what Grayson really was, a man willing to bury evidence if it kept the city quiet and Devereaux safe. He told Malone that curfew would not stop the order. Their final rite was waiting at Magnolia's end, and he meant to reach it that night. Malone warned him that defying Grayson could cost him his badge, but Julien had already made his choice. He crushed his cigarette under his heel, scanned the crowd, and saw Celeste watching with her notebook ready. Her expression said she would follow. As the parade's drums faded under the curfew orders, Julien moved into the thinning crowd. The moon hung above the quarter like a final signal. Somewhere beyond the noise, the order was preparing the last act of its ritual. Julien tightened his grip on the talisman and walked toward Magnolia's end, ready to face them before the city lost its soul.